Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the full review of the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE 5G. And I have been actually using this smartphone with my primary SIM for the last 2 weeks, and this video I'll share my experience, what did I like, some of the nitpickings, and what are the things that I did not like. Let's get on with this one, and let's start with the things that I liked. And guys, this is a successor to the Galaxy S20 FE. In fact, I had given the S20 FE 5G to my daughter, so this is the one, so I'll be doing some comparisons also there, some of the things that I've noticed. And the first thing is, again, as it's a Samsung smartphone, guys, it's all about the screen. This one is having a 6.4-inch screen, and it's an AMOLED screen, of course, a Super AMOLED screen. And the good thing is it's a 120 Hz screen, so that way not an issue, and it gets decently bright if you keep it on auto brightness. But the thing is that, guys, this is not the topmost AMOLED screen from Samsung. For example, on the Samsung's true flagship, the S21 Ultra and something like that, it's actually having a proper dynamic display where it can adjust the refresh rate and can go down up to about 10 Hz if I recall. This one is fixed at 120 or 60 Hz, guys. So that is something I've noticed. Not a big deal, but if it would have had the same screen, the battery life would have been even better. But nevertheless, excellent screen, like you expect on Samsung smartphones, so no issues with that, and can get decently bright also. And also in dull lighting situations, it does not strain your eyes or gets any issues like that. In fact, I also like the in-display fingerprint scanner. Samsung went with this in-display fingerprint scanner, not the ultrasonic that is used on the higher end, but this one is actually faster than the ultrasonic one. And again, as you can see, no issues. So that way it's a fast and a reliable, a fingerprint scanner that we are getting on this work, and works with this screen. By the way, guys, this also has always on display. You have to enable in the settings. I did not use the always on. I was just using it like this in the regular mode. You tap this for 10 seconds, it comes. So my battery starts will be based on that. Okay, now moving to the next thing is, I like that this smartphone is IP67 rated, and also it supports wireless charging, which is generally not found in this price range. Generally, many vendors skip the IP rating and wireless charging, but you have those features on this one. IP67 is generally useful, I would say. If your dip accidentally falls in water or something, nothing should happen to this device. And also it supports wireless charging. I personally do not use wireless charging a lot, but if you are a person who use it, for example, in car, it's convenient. If a car has a wireless charger, you can just place it and it charges. So that convenience features, I would say, are there on this one. So nice to have features, I would say. Next thing is regarding the build, guys. I would say nice thing is that this is actually metallic, so this is solid, but the back is that polycarbonate plastic. I'll talk about that in the later part of the video. But the thing that I really liked on this one, the front glass is actually Gorilla Glass Victus, and this is the best that you can get. And I was surprised that Samsung gave this one, because generally Samsung was reserving that only for their true high-end flagships. But nice to see that we have Gorilla Glass Victus, and I think so that saved this smartphone. As you see, I'm using the phone just like this, and you also do not get any case in the box. So accidentally it actually fell once, but as you can see, nothing has happened to this device, and because as the back is plastic, also nothing happened. So nice to see that we are getting Gorilla Glass Victus, because again, in this price range, generally other smartphones that you get are coming with Gorilla Glass 5, etc., or even 6, but not Gorilla Glass Victus. So that's a nice thing. They didn't do the cost cutting. Next thing I liked is, again, this is regarding the processor, guys. In India, we're getting the Exynos variant, the 2100, and I was also very worried about that one, because when the original Exynos 2100 came, actually this one is having the version 2 of the Exynos 2100, revamped one, you could say. The original S21 Ultra, when I got it, it was a review unit, it was heating up quite a bit, but this one is not heating up that much. Yes, when I just first got the phone and I set it up initially for the first time, for the first 2-3 hours, it was a little bit warm because it was indexing stuff, but after 4-5 hours, it was just normal, and it simply does not heat up in daily usage, I would say. And again, it's a very fast processor, almost equivalent to Snapdragon 888. In fact, the heating problem that I was worried is not an issue. Only time I notice I still you can heat a little bit if you're using the camera continuously, but again, that's the same case with even the iPhones and other flagship phones that I'm using. So general heating that we used to get with Exynos 990 or even the first generation Exynos 2100, that is sort of solved. I'm not noticing any heating issues. Using this one as my primary, and even I used it for GPS mounted on my bike, etc. I didn't have a issue. So I think that the heating issue is now fairly solved. And again, it's a fast processor, guys. You don't have to worry about it. Though it comes with just 8 gigabytes of RAM, handles everything. Memory management is actually pretty good on this one. So as you can see, I don't have to actually close the apps or do anything. And apps that you want in memory are there, they don't get booted out. So that way, even with 8 gigabytes of RAM, the memory management has been done very well. In that aspect, I would say Samsung is doing a good job. This comes with the latest One UI 4 also, that comes with Android 12, and it's been optimized well. So there's nothing like lag or something that I noticed with this phone. So that area, performance, you don't have to worry about it. Next thing is regarding the battery life that I was getting on this one. This has a 4500 milliamp hour battery on this one, slightly better than the regular S10. And again, I would say the battery life is decent on this one. I was getting a battery life in terms of screen on time, guys. I was getting anywhere from about 5 hours to a max of about 6.5 hours. And that's actually pretty good for a flagship level processor, because if I recall, the S21 Ultra was giving me just about 4 hours to 4.5 hours of screen on time. So decent battery life, and it's comparable to many of the flagships. They also generally get about 5 to 5.5 hours of what you say SOT, and this is with about 1 day of standby. But again, guys, I was not using it with the always on, using like this. If you use always on like this, always on is always there, then it will use the battery life a little bit more. But battery life was a non-issue, I would say. I was a little bit worried, but again, this second gen whatever 2100 Exynos is doing a good job in terms of standby. But again, it's everyday charge phone. Don't expect it to last about 2 days. If you want that, then you have to go to the mid-range smartphone. They're far more efficient than these flagships. Okay, next thing is regarding the 5G bands. I like that here also Samsung is not skimping. I believe this has 12 bands of 5G. So whenever 5G starts coming this year, at least in metros, you will have 5G on this. You don't have to worry about that. Next thing is regarding the call quality. And here again, still my primary SIM is there. The Airtel SIM is there. Again, it supports everything. The Wi-Fi calling and all those things are there. As you can see, you can enable it, disable all those things. And all the bells and whistles are there. DeX, Dolby Atmos, and all those things. In call quality, I did not have an issue. Typical Samsung flagship, I would say. So call quality was good. Earpiece quality was excellent, and I like the fact that this handset is actually not that heavy. So even for long calls, you can easily take it. It weighs just 177 grams. Generally, the flagships these days are hovering around 195, 200, or even 205 grams. So that way, I would say it was light and no proximity sensor issue. Call quality was also good. And I also took calls with speaker and it was decent. I wish the speakerphone was a little bit louder, but decent. So no issues in terms of call quality that I had with this one. Next thing, again, I've told you the weight balance is done well, 177 grams. So definitely if you're coming from some other flagships, they are a lot more heavier, I would say. So I started appreciating that it just weighs 177 grams. So that's nice, but still, the outer chassis is not plastic. This is important for rigidity. So there they did not compromise. Next thing is what I like is the camera on this one. The triple camera, all are 12 megapixel, but all cameras are functional on this one. The regular one, there's the wide angle, and we have a 2x zoom. And here are some of the samples taken with this one. And as you can see, the picture quality that I got with this one was very, very good. And again, in portrait mode, it uses that 2x zoom. And notice how good the pictures come with this zoom. So definitely, I would say camera was something that exceeded my expectations, I would say. And here they did not compromise. I thought they will compromise because this is a FE edition, so camera would be a little bit compromised. But I'm actually pretty impressed with the rear facing camera. In fact, I also have the OnePlus 9 RT, and soon I'll be doing a camera comparison. I've finished that video about 50%. Need to shoot a lot more samples, so stay tuned with that, because I think so that will be the nearest competitor. But definitely the cameras are a highlight of this one. In fact, much better than I expected, especially that portrait mode works brilliantly on this one. Front facing is a 32 megapixel, and here I would say outdoor shots in good lighting come out to be good, but again in dull lighting I feel the front facing camera is struggling a little bit. Instead of the 32 megapixel, they should have just gone with the 12 megapixel, because like what they did with the Rear one, because 12 megapixel captures in a lot more light. So yes, in low lighting, I would say front facing camera was struggling a little bit. That's what I have noticed. So another very good thing about this smartphone, as I've told you, this comes out of the box with Android 12 with One UI 4. That is the latest that we are getting. And again, Samsung has already promised that this smartphone will get next 3 Android upgrades. So Android 13, 14 and 15 we'll also get, and 4 years of security update. So this is the best in the industry. So if you are a person who does not like to change his phone very often also, then you are covered with this. In that aspect, I would say Samsung is doing a very good job in terms of updates. And many of the phones these days, new phones are also coming with Android 11. They say Android 12 will come later on, but this comes with Android 12 out of the box. So in that area, I am happy with this smartphone. And again, I didn't find any major bugs in the UI or anything. So software, you're sort of covered. So now let's move to some of the nitpicks. These are not strictly cons, but these are some of the things that I have noticed. And again, the first thing is that, again, guys, this is plastic back. And I know this is a nitpick, because what I've noticed that, yes, definitely if it was having a glass back, it would have looked slightly more premium. But I think so, because as I've told you, this is my daughter's S20 FE 5G that I gave her last year. And as you can see, this is also having the plastic back. But again, it held up pretty well. And my daughter drops the phone quite a bit, as you can see some over here. But again, nothing that has cracked. If it was a glass back, this would have cracked easily. So yes, in terms of durability, definitely I think so. The plastic back is good, but I think so this plastic back feels a little bit cheap. So if I were using this phone, I would add just some skin to make it look better. So that's my take regarding the plastic back. Many people feel, yes, they are more durable, and I have to agree with that. Next thing that I noticed is, again, in the box, there is no case provided. They should have given the case, because the competition, the OnePlus 9 RT, does give a silicone case, and they could have bundled that. So I don't like that they are skimping there. Next thing is, again, it has decent haptic feedback. It's decent, but I felt that the haptics are not as great as what Samsung puts on their flagship, and that's how I think so they are differentiating a little bit. So the haptic models are decent, but not superb, I would say. Next thing is, and this is something Samsung should not do, and because this is sort of a premium phone costing almost 50,000. Samsung tries to push some of the stuff over here, for example, this Galaxy Store, and you can't remove it. I know I can easily disable it going there, but again, for a novice user, it prompts you to install apps and stuff over here. I just didn't disable it, but you can disable it. But this is something that Samsung should stop doing. I can just go to the My Galaxy apps, and from here I can disable this app. So I will eventually do that, but I don't like that. It keeps sending stuff like this. Next thing is regarding the charging. This supports a max of 25 watt of charging, and I don't like the fact that the charger is not there in the box. And I don't know why Samsung is doing it. I understand with flagships, Apple has also stopped doing that, but if OnePlus has to look at the competition, the OnePlus 9 RT in the box, you get that fast 65 watt charger. So the competition is that. So they should have given that 25 watt charger in the box, in my frank opinion. Here also they are doing that cost cutting, and I don't like that. So you have to really, if you want that fast charging, you have to buy that 25 watt charger separately from the market. Okay, so these are some of the nitpickings. Now let's move to some of the cons that I have noticed with this device. The first thing is that, yes, it has a stereo speaker. Let me actually give you an idea. Let's just go to copyright free songs and copyright free music. Let's just play over here. It has stereo speakers, but this is the max volume I'm keeping. So the volume level, as you can see, it is okay, but I felt it could have been louder. This is the max. You have very good stereo separation. It's not like only like 30% of the sound is coming from this side. But in terms of loudness, it could have been louder. Certainly, the true Samsung flagships have far better and louder stereo speakers. Next thing is that regarding the pricing inconsistency, this was launched at about 55,000. Just last week, I noticed that the price came back to about 50,000. This is without offers. You can add credit card offers and whatever up from that. But now I just looked at it before making this video. Today is what, 25th, and today again it's showing me the price of about 55,000. Yes, there are some offers, but I don't like this price fluctuation every week. What the hell is going on? The best price that I saw of this one was that last week it was priced at 50,000, but you could add actually some credit card offers, so it worked out to be about 47,000. That was the best. But now if I look even at Amazon India and even the Samsung's own website, they are quoting a price of 55,000. You have some credit card offer, 5,000 off. But I don't like the pricing inconsistency. One week it's like this, one week it's like that. Is it a stock market or what? Be consistent with your pricing so that users can make a decision. And I feel at this price point, it's slightly overpriced for what Samsung is trying to do, because the real competition is the OnePlus 9 RT. And I feel if you are able to get this smartphone at around 45,000 price point, eventually it will come down to that price, I feel. Then it's a good buy. But I feel the biggest competition as of now to this smartphone with the current pricing is the Samsung's own S20 FE 5G. This you can have, I was looking at Amazon for about 37 or 38,000, 37,000 I think so. And at that price point, this is an excellent smartphone. So that was my review of this Samsung Galaxy S21 FE. Now let me actually talk about the summary. I have actually written it down on my laptop. So let me just read it so that you have a better idea regarding the same. So this is the summary. Overall, much better than expected. I was worried about the Exynos 2100, but it has been working well and I did not notice any major heating issues while using the phone regularly. The camera performance, especially the rear facing camera, surprised me, and it's a very good and a proper triple camera setup that we are getting. It has some good features like IP67, water resistant and wireless charging, which are generally missed in phones in this range. So in terms of features, Samsung is not skipping a lot of stuff, just that the stereo speakers could have been louder. For working professionals that have important data on the smartphone, this smartphone does support Samsung's Knox security and even DeX wireless. So if you use those features, those are there. But I feel Samsung should get its pricing right. It's fluctuating all over the place every week now. It would be a good buy if you can get it around 45,000, considering you can get last year's Galaxy S21 FE at about 10 to 13,000 rupees less, which is still a pretty good phone. So guys, this was my review of the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE 5G. What do you guys feel about the same? Do let me know in the comment section below. And I'll be soon posting in a day or two, maybe after 2 days, the camera comparison between this one and the OnePlus 9 RT. So again, stay tuned for that. Some pretty interesting results. Anyways, guys, that's it for now for this video. If you are still not subscribed to this YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.